Hello everybody, this is Gaming Scott and welcome back to another episode video of Tier List Tuesday. Comes out the first Tuesday of every month. It is April 7th, not the time of recording, but happy April 7th. As of the time of recording, still in quarantine. Hopefully April 7th is a little bit better, but we'll see. It's actually not coming up in too often. It's less than 2 weeks away. I'll give you that much of a time span. But this month, for Tier List Tuesday, we're going to be ranking all of the Treyarch Zombies maps. I don't know why I decided to do this. I was just thinking of ideas to do stuff, and I was like, hey, maybe I'll rank the Zombies maps. And I might also, stay tuned, be playing all the old maps on the Black Ops 3 whatever it was, Resurrection, Big, Zombies, DLC. I might go back and play through all the maps on there just for fun, for old time's sake. So if that hasn't already been uploaded to YouTube, if that's not already something I've started to do, maybe keep an eye on that in the future. I don't know, we'll see. But anyway, let's kick things off with, we're starting right from the beginning. Actually, before we do that, I gotta give a bit of a disclaimer. Obviously, you see the unplayed section down here, and that's because I didn't really play any of the Black Ops 4 Zombies maps. So we're just gonna put those boys down there. I did see on the Call of Duty Zombies subreddit that most of these I probably could rank, because I think everything is like a remaster or a reimagining of some other old map, maybe besides the first two. Like 9 and Voyage of Despair, I think, were new, unique maps, but everything else was just a reimagining of an older map. Classified, I think, is 5. Blood of the Dead is Call of the Dead, I think. Dead of the Night, I think that's the Nuketown. And Ancient Evil is, I don't know. There was a Mob of the Dead somewhere. Maybe Blood of the Dead is Mob of the Dead. I don't know. But I think Call of the Dead was also remade. I don't know. I didn't keep up with the Black Ops 4 Zombies at all. I did play 9 in Voyage of Despair maybe like once or twice, but I never got past like round 5. I never actually got to explore the whole map. Not got to explore, I just didn't. I wasn't that invested. I don't know why. It wasn't my thing. So I'm not going to rank these just because I haven't played them, and that wouldn't be fair. So that's where they are. So now we can officially start things off. Now we're going in order from World at War all the way to Black Ops 3. Again, excluding these Black Ops 4 maps just because I didn't really play them. Nacht der Untoten, where it all started. Without World at War, the little bonus mode you got at the end of the campaign is just a little, just as a little map. You got 4 different rooms, 3 doors to open. It's just a little extra bonus mode right at the end of the campaign. It's like, hey, here's all these Nazi zombies, and you know, no lore behind it, no story. It's just it existed. So without Nacht der Untoten, there would be, none of this. So I'm gonna rank this up here in the A, just because it's very simple. And simple by no means is bad. Nacht der Untoten is a phenomenal map. And honestly, I'm just going to rank it in the A tier to get a little bit of variety. Because to be honest with you, also another disclaimer. I did record this video. This is my second time recording the video. I talked to my computer for 50 minutes and then went to look at the video and realized my microphone was muted. So that's a bummer. So I did this video before. I'm not even 100% positive my rankings would be the same, but that video was lost to time. It's deleted now, and so I don't know. All I remember is what I had said, but even that was maybe like a week or 2 ago. So Nacht der Untoten, just to keep things maybe a little bit balanced by the end, I'm going to put in the A tier. If you were to argue Nacht der Untoten belongs in the S tier rank, I'd have no problem with that. absolutely go for it. I'm just going to put it in the A tier. Absolute classic map, especially right at the beginning. The little, all the barrier glitches you could uh, lay down under the grenades on the top floor and just have a flamethrower and get to round infinity, basically. The zombies would just have an invisible wall that they couldn't cross if you did these certain things. And so it was just good old times. It's like, I don't think it was pre-teen years for me, but early teenager years for World at War, 13, 14 or something, playing with friends. These first these first 4 OG maps were like the bomb. But Nocturne and Tone, I'm going to put in the A tier. If you were to just be like, hey, that belongs in the S tier, I'd be like, you know what? Probably you're right. But for now, we're going to leave it in the A tier. Verrückt, the first DLC zombies map, that's an S tier map. Honestly, Verrückt, based off of the World at War multiplayer map Asylum, which I very much enjoyed. I just love Verrückt. It also had one of the creepiest, scariest vibes of all the zombies. Once again, still not really any lore or story in Verrückt. It's just like, hey, here's some zombies, don't die, but you're gonna. It was also the first map, I believe, to introduce perks, which was cool. You got Juggernog, Double Tap, Root Beer, Speed Cola, and Quick Revive. So they introduced perks, which was awesome. The staple of all the future zombies maps to come, I believe. Again, Black Ops 4, I know, did some weird stuff. I don't know. And then you had, as long as you had a full group of 4 people, you got 2 people on one side, 2 people on the other side. It was also the first map to introduce the power switch. You got 2 teams of 2 split up. You got to turn on the power, and the middle door opens, and you are reconnected, reunited together again to fight zombies, all 4 of you, not just 2 groups of 2. So that was also a little bit of a cool feature of the map. But yeah, Verrückt, honestly one of my favorite maps. Absolute S tier, for sure. Shi No Numa. I'm going to put this in the B tier. Again, I think all the OG 4 maps, Nacht, Verrückt, Shi No Numa, and Der Riese, are all excellent maps. But I think of the 4, Shi No Numa might be the weakest. I know it does start the story, it does start a little bit of lore. There's some element 115, if I'm even remembering the number right. I think it's element 115. It sounds right. 113? No, I'm going to go with 115. It's been a while. I never really got into the story and the Easter eggs. Like, I followed it. I never did any of the Easter eggs myself. I did read up on the lore and the story at some points, but I never actually did any of the Easter eggs myself, just because it was a bunch of nonsense, and I didn't have any friends. And especially in, like, Black Ops 2 and stuff, everyone was not buying the map packs anymore and stuff, and I didn't want to team up with random people to do an Easter egg. I know there's communities and stuff that you could team up with, but it's too much work. I could just read up or watch somebody do the Easter egg, I figure out the story. I don't have to be the one to do it. Anyway, Shi No Numa, back to that. This first map, it was a big deal at the time, I remember. It was the first map where you could go outside. And that was just, oh boy. At the time, I remember everyone was so excited. Be like, oh, you get to go outside of a building. It was also the first map, I believe. No, Verrückt did have traps. I believe the original Verrückt did have traps, of course, right? The electric barriers. But Shi No Numa introduced some new traps, the flogger, or whatever the log thing was called. I think it's the flogger. And the perks were randomized, I believe, in the original. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I think, there were 4 different paths that you could go in Shi No Numa. And there's a little hut at the end of each path, and I believe in the original, the perks were randomized. They weren't like, hey, if we want Juggernog, we gotta go down this path. If we want Speed Cola, we gotta go down this path. So that kind of incentivized you to open up all the doors, if you will, all the paths, um, because you might not get the perk you want right away. The swamp part also was a bummer. Like, it made sense that you'd be slowing down in the swamp, but it was just garbage. I believe it also, you could travel. There was that little cart thing. I don't know what to call it, cart travel thing, but you could travel, which was also pretty cool. It was also the first map to introduce hellhounds, which hellhounds weren't like a staple through the rest of zombies, but they did usually have some special creature around in a lot of future maps. So Shi No Numa, again, by no means is it a bad map. It's in the B tier, which is still very good. But I think of the original four, Shi No Numa is maybe the weakest, or at least my least favorite of the four. Again, some people probably would say Shi No Numa is their favorite. I don't know, but for me, again, this whole video is my personal opinion. By no means am I saying this is a fact. These are what these maps are ranked, because I'm probably gonna have some very controversial things to say later on. Yeah, Shi No Numa of the original four, it's a bit of the weakest, but it's still an excellent, excellent map. Der Riese, no question about it, absolutely up in the S tier. It's the epitome. It's the what's it called? The peak. The super duper scuba of zombies. It's the best zombies map, I'll say. I think a lot of people might agree. I think a lot of people like Origins too, but for me, Der Riese just is what. Oh, Kino der Toten. A lot of people like that one. But Der Riese, this is what uh, this is what zombies is. This is This is the classic zombies map. It introduces Pack-a-Punch, which upgrades the weapons. You got all those memories of being up on the catwalk, on the back teleporter. It also, it brought a lot of more story into it. You got Richtofen testing on Samantha's dog and creating the Hellhounds and all that stuff, and it created some intrigue to future installments of zombies maps. And it was just an excellent map. You got Pack-a-Punch, you got everything, anything that you would want in a zombies map, it's in Der Riese, in my opinion. And it's been like the most remade, I feel, besides maybe Nacht der Untoten. I feel like this is in every game. It was remade as a giant, and it's just re-released as a free DLC at some point and whatever. Der Riese is just everything you would want in a zombies map. Not too big, not too complex. It is the quintessential. That was the word. It is a quintessential map of zombies. I don't even know if I'm using that word right, but there it is. Quintessential was the word I was looking for. Again, don't know if I was using it right, but that was the word I was looking for. Der Riese, number one, baby. 5, poop. Not D tier, but 5 was just, at the time it was released with Black Ops as like the kind of bonus mode. I think 5, you got it after beating the campaign. Kino der Toten was just released with the game, but I think you had to beat the campaign to unlock 5. I could be wrong about that. Again, memories are hazy. Black Ops 1 was a long time ago. But 5 was just an extremely tough map. The setting was cool, don't get me wrong. The characters were cool. Playing as JFK, DeCastro, all those people, that was a cool thing. But it was just this extremely tough map, and I feel like I don't even know it 100% still today. Like, if you ask me how to get the Pack-a-Punch, I know it involves something with the elevators, but I couldn't tell you 100% how to do it. If it is random, I don't even know. If getting the Pack-a-Punch is a random thing to call the elevator, or if you actually have to do something, I don't know. I don't remember, because I hardly played this map just because it was a tough map. The scientist that stole your gun to replace the Hellhound round, he was garbage. It did have a very good spooky vibe to it, especially in like the downstairs lab area with like the flickering lights and tight hallways and stuff and little rooms. That created some tense, spooky environments for sure. But it was just a really tough map, and I think a lot of the zombies community agree that this is probably one of the toughest zombies map, just because it's tough. It's tough. Kino der Toten, I'm be honest, I'm gonna put in the A tier as well. And this is one where like it's not like Nocturne Toten, where if you're like this is an S tier, I'd be like okay. But Kino der Toten, if you were to be like this is an S tier, I might give it a little bit of pushback. I'd probably understand your case and reasoning for it, but I would not rank it in the S tier. Like I said, Nocturne Toten, if you were like, hey, you should rank this in the S tier, I'd be like, okay. But Kino der Toten, if you were like, hey, this should be an S tier map, I'd be like, this is my opinion. I'm gonna put it in the A tier. Alright. It's definitely a great map. Um, there's a little bit of this map that's based off a Black Ops map, right? Or is it all unique? I swear like the theater. No, the theater, that wouldn't be based. I don't know. I don't think it's based off of anything. It might have been in the campaign. I don't know. But anyway, Kino der Toten, it's a solid map. Don't get me wrong. That's why it's in the A tier, baby. But like, if I want to go back to a zombies map, play it for nostalgia's sake. I don't think I have the same nostalgia value of Kino der Toten that I do Der Riese, Verrückt, Nacht, even Shino Numa. Shino Numa is ranked below Kino, but I have more nostalgia stuff with Shino Numa than Kino. I don't know. I never played it super much. That's all. Like I definitely played it a bunch when it was there, but it's not a map that I would find myself today going back to. It's not one of the first maps. Definitely go to Der Riese first, even Verrückt. Even if I'm all solo by myself, doesn't matter that there's a door in the middle. I'd play Verrückt or Der Riese or Nacht before Kino der Toten. Might do Kino before Shino Numa. I don't know. Just based off of the rankings. But I don't know. It's a solid map. Don't get me wrong. It's in the A tier. Stop complaining. I'm going to move on. Ascension. That's a good map. It introduced everybody's favorite perk in the world, PhD Flopper, Black Ops. You could dolphin dive. And with PhD Flopper, you could dolphin dive and create a mini explosion around your body, which was super cool. Ascension is based off of Black Ops multiplayer map. I don't remember what it's called. Rocket Launch? I don't know. But it was a cool map. I think it had... didn't it have monkeys? Didn't you... No, the Riese you had monkeys. But the Hellhound round was monkeys that stole perks. Granted, those monkeys, the Hellhound round, those were annoying as balls. You didn't want your perks stolen because that was garbage. But otherwise, I just have the most memories of this, circling around that teleporter, launch pad, whatever the travel mechanic thing was, right by the PhD flopper, and just training in circles forever and ever. Those were good memories, and overall, Ascension is just a good map. I definitely like that you started in the black and white setting and all that stuff, and then you turn on the power, and that brings color to the map. That was cool. Ascension, again, I just think it's a good, excellent map. Totally. Good stuff, Ascension. Call of Dead, you're going next to 5. Again, this is the first map to kind of introduce like a boss type thing, and not even like I know in Black Ops 3 or something they had boss like Easter egg bosses, but this was the first map I believe that had like a boss zombie. George Romero. You got a bunch of celebrities voice acting for this. You played as what's her name and what's his name and other guy and something. And then George Romero is of course a zombie. This is just an okay map. um, it had the Avenged Sevenfold song, which is definitely excellent, but that's not going to redeem the actual map itself because it really doesn't have anything to. I did mention Derice has the best Easter egg song, Beauty of Annihilation. Oh, just ooh, this is the best non-Avenged Sevenfold song. Because Avenged Sevenfold, I enjoy them, but the best non-Avenged Sevenfold Easter egg song is definitely Derice, Beauty of Annihilation. Anyway, Call of the Dead. It's an okay map. I don't recall it super much. I definitely played it a lot during the time it came out. But this was on the high school was just a stupid time. Um, and during the second half of Black Ops, it started to phase out, just like every Call of Duty cycle goes. You buy the map pack pass to get the $10 discount, and then by the time the second one comes out, you're already kind of done with the game. So I played this a decent amount, not as much as Ascension, but by the time this was, out, maybe no more than a month after, I was kind of done with Black Ops, and it was kind of fizzled out a bunch. So Call of the Dead, not a terrible map, but definitely not an excellent, great map. It's a C tier, it's next to 5. It's Shangri-La, however, D tier. This is almost should be in the unplayed category, because Shangri-La, the trailer came out for the Black Ops DLC 3, and it did nothing to entice me to play the game. And when DLC 3 came out, I maybe played the new multiplayer maps like one time each, and that was it. I maybe played one game of Shangri-La and probably died to the spike traps by myself. And I was like, I'm good. And so Shangri-La had nothing. It didn't entice me to play Black Ops again. And I was just like, I was like, So, don't take it personally if you're a Shangri-La fan. It's almost fair to put in the unplayed category, but I did play it a little bit, and especially when it was re-released. I tried it again with the Black Ops 3 Resurrection DLC. I still not a big fan. Maybe it's just because I didn't play it when it originally came out, so I had kind of a bias against it going into replaying it or playing the re-release of it. I don't know. I just don't like it. I'm not a big fan. Sorry. Moon. Now this did entice me to play Black Ops again. I'm still gonna be fair. I didn't play it a whole bunch, but I definitely played a decent amount of games, way more than Shangri-La. Similar to 5, I think, though, if you were to ask me how to get the Pack-a-Punch open, I don't think I could tell you. I'm thinking right now. Don't think I can tell you. Think there's Oh no, the Pack-a-Punch. Yeah, the Pack-a-Punch is on Earth. I remember now. So that was cool. Now, if you ask me how do you get back to Earth after you are already on the moon, that I'd have to think about. I don't know. But I do remember Pack-a-Punch on Earth. But Moon is a cool map. Obviously, Pack-a-Punch being on Earth, that was where you started. That was a kind of cool new start to a zombies map. Take as much time as you want. All you got is a pistol. But whenever you're ready to go up to the moon, or you don't want to die, go up to the moon. But otherwise, have fun with this roundless, endless horde of zombies that will get faster and faster, and hellhounds eventually too. So that was cool. The anti-grav dome that you see in this little thumbnail was a fun time. The astronauts that were other players was a bit spooky, but it was also a cool feature. And Moon, I enjoy it. Again, I don't have the same nostalgia with Moon as I do some of these other maps, but it's a solid map. I'll give it that. It's a B tier. Again, if I played it a little bit more and got more into it at the time, probably be moved up. I don't know. Shangri-La. I hear nothing about Shangri-La. So I don't even have other people's opinions to sway me to rank it higher. So that helps me justify myself for my own opinion-based ranking. Why do I have to justify my opinions? I don't know. Anyway, Moon, B tier, cool. Transit. Now Transit is a C tier map. The individual maps that came with it, what'd you get? You got Diner, you got the Farm, I think, you got Town. The individual maps are pretty good. Diner's really small. No one played Diner. Farm was good for a quick round of zombies. You never got too far. I don't think there was a pack-a-punch in Farm. There were perks. I don't think there were any perks on Diner, were there? I don't know. Diner was really small. Could you also play the bus station itself as its own individual map? Or was that just a challenge people did on the transit map, like they never got on the actual bus? I think the bus station might have been its own individual map. Let me know. I forget. I'm not gonna look anything up after this, so let me know. Because as soon as I'm done with this, I'm probably gonna, I don't know, maybe go to bed or something. But I'm not gonna look stuff up. So the individual maps are excellent, especially Town. Freaking Town was, I have so many memories with Town. The pack-a-punch in the middle of the lava in the middle of the map. Ooh, you also got that, Mule Kick. You had that Tombstone perk, which you revived yourself, I think, or something. Oh no, you pick up your Tombstone and you get all your perks and stuff back, I believe. That was a cool perk. But Town itself, just the little mini-map Town, I got a lot of memories with that one. But Transit itself, you got the denizens, you got the fog, you got a bunch of garbage. The robot bus driver's a cool dude, don't get me wrong. But the map Transit is just, there's so much going against it. So, because the individual maps of Transit are not here, verbally right now, Town is really the only one people cared about. Town is maybe an A or S tier. Town is great. But Transit, this is the only map I have here to rank. And so it's going to go in the C tier. Sorry, bud. Nuketown, I think it's B tier. I don't think it's a great map. I don't think it's a bad map. It's just right in the middle. It's an average so-so map. I don't know when B became average or so-so, but I'm just saying words here. B is middle of the line, is what I'm saying. People were excited to have a Nuketown Zombies map, and it was pretty decently small, but they managed to make it feel a little bit bigger, at least in my opinion, than the map was. As far as the Zombies map, it felt like a little bit bigger than the multiplayer Nuketown felt. Like Nuketown, if you played that in multiplayer, you're like, this is a really small map. There's action everywhere. And of course, Zombies, there's always action everywhere. But they managed to make it feel a little bit stretched out and a little bit bigger than it was. It's still a small map, don't get me wrong. But I think they did a good job with making it feel like a decent Zombies map. It's definitely bigger than Nocturne Toten. I don't think I would say it's bigger than Verrückt. I'd say Verrückt is bigger than Nuketown. Again, I don't know. But if it's bigger than Verrückt, it's definitely not bigger than Shi No Numa. Nuketown is a pretty small Zombies map, and people were excited at the time to be like, Nuketown Zombies, woo! And it just turned out okay. Like, people nowadays, if you're like, hey, for old time's sake, do you want to go play some zombies? They'll be like, oh yeah, let's go play Nuketown. No. It's an okay map. People aren't going to go back to it like they would for other maps. But it was okay at the time. It was enjoyable, it was fun, but nothing special about it to make me go back. So yeah, Nuketown, B tier. Here you go, ladies and gentlemen. Die Rise, S tier. I don't think a lot of people agree with that at all, but I don't know. I loved Die Rise. This was what, Black Ops 2. Did this come? Nuketown was like a bonus zombies map, wasn't it? Because you got Kino. Oh no. This is Black Ops 2. This is oh no, what have we done? We got Shangri-La Moon, then we got Transit, Nuketown, Die Rise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There was only 4 map packs, so I feel like Nuketown might have been a bonus something. Or I don't know. This is a bonus something. It wasn't part of a DLC. Or it was its own little miniature DLC. Because Die Rise, Alcatraz, Buried, and Origins came with the 4 map packs. So Die Rise was the first like DLC zombies map, and I loved it. Probably helps that it was, early in the Black Ops 2 life cycle. Everyone was still playing. No one was tired out yet. And I loved it. In the little tease of the PhD floppers, you go down the elevator right at the start, making everybody sad and depressed. I don't know what it is. The Sliquifier was cool. Oh, also Dries was the first. No, it wasn't the first. It had the Wonderwaff, but the ray gun was in Knockdown Tone right from the start, so there were always wonder weapons. But the Sliquifier, it was a fun wonder weapon. You see zombies sliding, slipping all around. I love the verticalness of it. You hop up and down. There's lots of elevators and things, and I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. A lot of people don't like Die Rise. They'd be like, huh, Die Rise, get out of here. More like, go die. I don't know. That's a terrible joke. It's not even a joke. It's just garbage. But I loved it. I don't know what it is about the map, but I enjoyed it so freaking much. Not a lot of people, I think, agree with that sentiment, but this is my opinion video, so get out of my face about it. Die Rise, I loved it. Besides maybe Town as part of the transit map, it might be my favorite map, Black Ops 2. Just, it's there, Die Rise, S tier. Mob of the Dead. I'd say this is an A tier map. I enjoyed it a bunch. The setting and the characters were cool. You got freaking the dude, Al Capone. It was just a cool map. You got to go to the bridge, which was very hectic. I didn't do it too much because you had to be a little bit involved to get to the bridge, I believe. But I did make it there a few times, and it was very hectic. And I don't think I ever got in the plane. Yeah, I don't think we ever built the plane, but we did get to the bridge. So that was cool. It was a fun time. And the Warden, I believe the Warden is in Mob of the Dead, right? Yeah, this is only remade in Black Ops 4, which I didn't play. So any memories I have of Mob of the Dead are probably correct. Mob of the Dead, was that in the Resurrection DLC? Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to assume what I know is correct. But the Warden was a cool dude. Cool isn't not cool. But also the ghost, the spirit feature in the map was really cool. Like you have to be a ghost. Like you have to get down to activate power in certain areas of the map. That was a really cool feature at the time. I liked it, and just the map itself, it was a really great map. It was a fun time. Mob of the Dead, boom, A tier. Buried, boom, also A tier. I love the western vibe of Buried. I love the chunkadunk, the chukaboopa. What's his name? Carl. I don't know. What's the dude's name? Giant dude. But the guy that you had to feed alcohol to get him to smash through doors. It was a fun time. It was also, it was a spooky map. It was a spooky map. Um, I very much did not like going through the haunted house or the maze to get to Pack-a-Punch. It was terrifying. And so it was nice to see zombies kind of go back to a Verrucht feel of, terrifying. Zombies are terrifying and buried, even though it wasn't zombies, it was a haunted house and there were ghosts chasing you. The feeling of the map, and not the whole map, just that area of the map. It was nice to have like a terrifying, spooky part of the map. It helped. It helped build the setting of the map itself, and it definitely added to the experience. But the whole western underground town vibe, the whole setting of it, I very much enjoyed, and I just liked the map. There wasn't really. There are some places that you could train zombies for sure. But, I wasn't really one of those guys that was worried about training zombies for like 3 minutes and then shooting them all and getting to around like 80. I was just playing zombies to play zombies. Um, so Buried, I think, also an A tier map. Origins. Now I know a lot of people were excited for Origins. Again, Black Ops 2 was maybe my super controversial ranking. Origins, I'm going to put in the B tier. Again, for my own personal reasons. By the time Origins came out, I had finished my personal Black Ops 2 cycle, and like Shangri-La, it didn't entice me too much to come back. Like, I did come back, play it a few times, but I didn't get, at the time, I didn't really get the map. Um, so it's an enjoyable map if I were to go back and play it again, give it another chance, and kind of understand it. I might rank it higher, but again, this is a little bit of personal knowledge. A lot of people have high regards to this map, so I'm not gonna get too many concerned, angry comments and ranking of the C or D. I don't think it belongs there. Again, maybe personal, not personal, but readings of others' opinions are swaying me to rank it a little bit higher. So again, Origins, it's cool. And there was a lot of story stuff going on in this map as well, and so I think that's why people were super hyped up for. And I was like, okay, yeah, because you got the dudes again. Transit introduced a whole new group of characters, and Origins you played as the OG4. You got Richtof and Nikolai, all those guys. They came back. Um, so that's why I think people were excited about it, the story-wise. So yeah, Origins, solid map. Like again, I've played it a decent amount, especially since the Resurrection DLC came out on Black Ops 3. So I enjoy the map. I don't think I could tell you how to get Pack-a-Punch. I don't know why that's such a factor I put into these maps. A lot of these is like, how much nostalgia factor do these maps give me? And I'd say this is pretty accurate. I don't have a whole lot of nostalgia attached to Origins. So that's, it's solid in the B tier. Like some of these maps are ranked off of their actual quality, like Transit is garbage. Have a decent amount of nostalgia with it because, of course, it released with the game. Everyone had it. Town, of course, so like I said, Town, just the miniature map of Town section, excellent. Transit, the quality is garbage. But other maps like Origins, I just don't have a whole lot of nostalgia with it, a whole lot of memories with it. So it's a B tier. Shadows of Evil, I think it's a C tier map. Black Ops 3, this is when freaking zombies started to go off the rails got way too complicated for me to follow story-wise. So I was like, you know what? I want to play zombies. I think Black Ops 3 was when the Giant came out. I did it. Maybe that was Black Ops 2, because they had the Resurrection DLC, and Reese was definitely a part of that. I think. Unless the Giant was with Black Ops 3, then they wouldn't re-release Reese. No, Reese must have been with Black Ops 2. I don't know, dude. There's too much. So many Reeses. Reese's. Shadows of Evil, C tier, way too complicated. So much stuff just to get the Pack-a-Punch unlocked. It was garbage. People complained and complained, and their complaints were justified because you had to go through way too much freaking stuff just to unlock the Pack-a-Punch room. And it was nonsense. I just want to play zombies. I want to shoot zombies. I want to kill them. I want to get to a decently high round so I can feel good about myself, and then eventually die. I want to Pack-a-Punch my guns so I can live like another maybe 4, 5+ rounds, guaranteed, and just do it. And Shadows of Evil came along. He's like, hey, you want to Pack-a-Punch your guns? How about you follow? Here's a scroll, like 10 pages long. I don't think scrolls are pages. The scroll is just one page, but it's really long. Here's a scroll that's like 10 feet long of a list of things you got to do before you can Pack-a-Punch your weapons. Have fun. And of course, they didn't really tell you the list of things you had to do. You just had to figure it out on your own. But it was just so much stuff just to Pack-a-Punch your weapon. And I was like, please, I just want to play zombies. Black Ops 3 got way too complicated for me, and Shadows of Evil can go poop on itself. Der Eisendrache, again, I guess all these would kind of be classic experiences, I guess, since they're all remasters or reimaginings. But Der Eisendrache is the last unique classic zombies experience, and for that, I think it's in the S tier. Der Eisendrache was a map where if I wanted to go just kill zombies and have a good time doing it, Der Eisendrache was the place to go. Like, it felt like a classic zombies experience. Of course, it's way bigger than any of the OG 4 maps. It was huge. But the maps have gotten increasingly bigger throughout their time. So Der Eisendrache was understandably a big map, but it felt like a classic zombies experience. If you want to get the Pack-a-Punch, you got a couple things to do, but nothing too complicated. Don't worry about it. You'll get there in due time. Easy enough. And it just, if you want to do the Easter egg, I think the Easter egg stuff was always complicated. But you know, I felt like the Easter egg of Shadows of Evil was Pack-a-Punch was kind of incorporated into the Easter egg. At least that's what it felt like, because so many steps of nonsense you had to do. But the Eisendrache, it was just like, hey, you could do these couple things, a couple different places around the map. I think then you have to kill zombies by the dragon heads. Isn't that what it was? It was something. I think it was that. Which that wasn't too bad. Like, kill like 10 zombies in front of the dragon heads, feed the dragons the zombie souls. Whatever. Sounds stupid and complex, but it wasn't too bad. I think that's what you had to do. I could be wrong. You had to do that for something. But you do that, there are 3 dragon heads around the map. Kill like 10 zombies in front of each one. You unlock the Pack-a-Punch. Again, that could be completely inaccurate, but that's... You had to feed the dragon heads for something. I'm pretty sure it was Pack-a-Punch. But it felt like a very... It went back to its roots. It went back to its Reese roots. Like, just go have fun, go kill zombies. Pack-a-Punch your weapons. You gotta do a little bit of a task to unlock the Pack-a-Punch, but it's not too bad. Just do it, you get the Pack-a-Punch, hip hip huzzah. I feel like this is the last classic zombies experience. Like, if you don't want to worry about the Easter egg, the whole lore of everything, that's alright. That's perfectly fine. Just enjoy killing zombies until you die. And that's what I liked. That's what I liked. Zetsubo no Shima. just so Shangri-La doesn't feel alone, I'm gonna put this in the D tier. I didn't play it too much. The Hellhound, quote unquote Hellhound round was spiders, I believe. It was a spooky map, but I didn't play it too much. It was just very okay for me. I don't really have a whole lot to say about it. um, it was a map. I feel like this is maybe the most, um, yeah, yeah. Shangri-La and Zetsubo, probably the most forgettable maps. I don't feel bad saying that. I just don't really have much to say because I didn't play them that much. I don't recall them really at all, other than there's the spider round. Um, this is Zetsubo Noshima, whatever. Gorod Kurovi. Again, why am I ranking this in the C tier? Black Ops 3, it had a terrible life cycle, at least for me. By the time Gorod Kurovi came out, I was done. I hardly touched Zetsubo in multiplayer whenever that came out, but Gorod Kurovi, I was like, dude, I'm playing something else right now. I don't have time for this zombies nonsense. It's too complicated nowadays. I don't know what's going on. Just you keep it. I don't want it. Go away. Um, but of course I did play it, and it was okay. I don't have a whole lot of memories of this, but again, public opinion may be swaying me to rank it a little bit higher, just because I think a lot of people enjoy this map. So for personal experience, it's probably close to the unplayed category, but public opinion, I hear more about this map than Zetsubo, so I'm going to kind of put it in the C tier. This is a very unpersonal opinion. Public opinion is swaying me. Revelations. Now this map, the quote unquote at the time, the end of the zombie storyline, which ended up being completely not true, apparently. That convinced me to get back into the Black Ops 3, at least the zombies. I forget how much I played of the multiplayer when this came out, but Revelations, the map, it very much convinced me to come back and give it a shot. And I enjoyed Revelations. I think a lot of people were a little underwhelmed with it because they're like, we've seen so many of the freaking old maps and they just threw all the old maps into Revelations. But I enjoyed the experience. I enjoyed going back, and of course, you got the big creature in the thumbnail that you could go inside to pack a punch your weapons and see all his internal ooze and guts and things. So that was cool. But I enjoyed the map. You got of course Noct was in there. Verrückt was in there. You got Der Eisendrache was even in there, which is kind of weird since I was also in Black Ops 3 anyway. There was an Origin section. I forget. Shi No Numa, I think, was probably in there. I don't know. But they just threw a bunch of the old maps. Mob of the Dead, I think, had a small section in there, definitely. Kino, probably, for sure. But I enjoyed Revelations. Again, I don't have a huge playtime for this map, but what I have played of it, I definitely enjoy. It's a very hectic map, but maybe because of all the old classic maps in it, it also kind of has a classic zombies feel to it. Again, the fact that the old maps are part of it may be swaying me in a slightly unfair way, but it kind of has a classic zombies feel to it. But it's just much more hectic, of course. um, but I liked Revelations from what I've played of it. Don't have a huge whole lot of playtime with it, but from what I have played, I do enjoy it. It lasts much more of an impression on me with my small amount of playtime than stuff like Zetsubo or Gorod Kurovi. So I'm gonna put it in the A tier. So that's it. What is this, 50 minutes? Pretty solid, not as long as my freaking board games. Talked for nearly 2 hours about my 50 board games. How many maps was this? So 5, 10, 15, 19, 21, essentially. So maybe I just talk on average about like, is that 20, 50, I don't know. It's about half the time, so maybe, it takes me like 50 minutes to talk about 20 things. So that's it. That's my ranking of all the Treyarch zombie maps. Of course, there were other Zombies mode, Infinity Ward, and whatever that third studio was for a short while. Raven or something. Raven, I don't know. But just the Treyarch zombies, because these were the big zombies maps. These were the ones people cared about. This had the story to it. Not to say that the others didn't, but this had a story going through it for like freaking, what is it, World of War, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3. I stopped counting. World of War, 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 games of story to these characters. It is impressive. Some people just cared about these maps more. But anyway, these are my rankings of all the Treyarch zombie maps. Nothing I would really change. Again, Zetsubo, Shangri-La, Gorod, Kurovi. I could honestly probably put these in the unplayed ranking. Again, Nocturne and Tone, if you're like, hey, it belongs in the S tier, I'd be like, okay, not a problem. But Darius, Varrock, Ascension, Die-Rise, Der Eisendrache, S tier maps for sure. Maybe Noct, if you were to say, hey, put it there, I'd be like, okay. Kino, Alcatraz, Buried, Revelations, A tier, sure. Shinonuma, Moon, Nuketown, Origins, B tier, sure. 5, Call of the Dead, Transit, Shadows of Evil, C tier. I've kind of already spoken about these 3 maps, so yeah, that is it for April of 2020. There's my tier list once again of Treyarch Zombies maps. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like and a comment. And if you want to see more videos similar to this one, please subscribe as well. Once again, this is Tier List Tuesday. It comes out on the first Tuesday of every month, and this month, April, I think the first Tuesday is the latest it can possibly be, April 7th. March 31st is the Tuesday before that, so you just missed out on the deadline. Gotta wait a whole nother 7 days. But that probably just means that the May tier list is gonna come even sooner. I don't know what the May tier list is gonna be. I just come up with these whenever. Whenever I go to bed at night, I'm like, hey, what should I do? And this is what I came up with for April. So yeah, like I said, I hope you enjoyed. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. Comment. I left some prompts during the video. Let me know some things. I forget what I said. Oh yeah, was the bus stop a playable map? Was there 4 playable areas with transit? Bus stop, diner, farm, in town? Or was it just diner, farm, in town? I forget if bus stop. Other stuff. Let me know your reactions. Where you would move stuff with, what you disagree with, what you agree with strongly, what you're angry about. Die-Rise, probably. I think a lot of people think this map is garbage. They can go garbage themselves. I don't care. I think it's great. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you around. Bye-bye.